reasoning, they were all behind it, and you can understand that. So a great reason to wear such a bright pink helmet.
Yeah, it certainly stands out. Heather Anderson, number 19 for the Crows. Player from the Northern Territory. Half this Adelaide team made up from the Northern Territory and Adelaide as we turn into the second quarter, and Metcalf to Marinoff. Lurking is Randall. She wins a free kick. Gave away the kick, rather. So Dalpos takes it. And it's McWilliams that marks. Keeps it low.
Kick.
And great kick. Long lead from Jacinda Barclay. She marks it.
Coach Chris Smith would be very happy with that Source. Didn't win the tap in the middle, but cleaned it up, and very smart forward 50 entry.
Well, they ideally need a goal in these slippery conditions. Jacinda Barclay. It's an unorthodox kicking style, but it can be effective, not on this occasion. Crows bring it back into play. Comey to Marinoff. She pumps it long. Isn't the best kick.
Real accumulator, Marinoff. We've seen she's got 8 possessions now, where the next best on the ground's at 4. So someone that can really find the ball.
So Williams fires it in to Tully. Probably still too far out to score. That's a better kick. Has it got the carry all the way to Barclay? Not quite. Now a ball to be won here. Going in hard was Dalpos, fires out the handball. The Crows, though, with numbers, doing really well through traffic as Gibson. Little give and go, and then the kick smooths off the side of the boot. Ball to be won here. Getting there first for the Giants. The handball to Farrugia, and then she's dealt with pretty harshly after she got rid of it. No free kick.
Oh.
To Cox.
Courageous switch.
Kicks across the face to Hatchard. Wider still, looking for Van Hagen. Trying to build from the back line. Radden keeps it short, and Crameri.
Well, they're free on the wing, the Crows, if they go wide.
Backing back, Courtney Cromie, really the face of South Australian football over the last few years. She's captained the South Australian team. At the back, toe poking, it was Randall. It's an open goal square. Who will get there first, and how does it bounce? Picking it up and going the toe poke is Phillips. And it's another miss, so 3 behinds for Erin Phillips to start her AFL career.
Surely her dad hasn't paid her to kick points, has he?
Maybe for the Crows. Father, of course, Greg, an absolute legend of South Australian football. 8 premierships for the Port Adelaide Magpies back in the day.
Always a tricky one, that one. Do you kick off the ground? Do you pick it up? Have you got enough time? You don't know how close they are behind. You always feel like they're right coming at you, especially if you're not super quick. So it's always a tough call.
Greg Phillips to join Nerily Meadows at half-time. Looking forward to hearing what he has to say. Cox is dispossessed over the line, I guessed. And it'll be tossed in at half-forward here for Adelaide.
Seeing anything clever at the rucks, Source? Are they pretty structured, or are they just going one-on-one?
No, it's pretty one-on-one across the ground, even in the forward and back lines as well, Roo. So no real tricks at the moment. We've just seen Metcalf being able to get hands on the ball, which has been pretty dominating so far.
So Generi wide to Marinoff. The kick not great. It comes to Holick, who's just going to pump it long. Underneath it was Perkins. Oh, here goes Erin Phillips again, and eventually 4 times lucky for Erin Phillips. From scoring goals for the Opals to kicking goals for the Crows. What a great story. And a moment to savour for Erin Phillips.
Wow, she'll have a weight off her shoulders now, Source, after that. When you kick 2 or 3 points in a row, you start doubting yourself. You start wondering whether you can really do it.
I think she would have been happy to get a soccer off in the goal square, not a set shot from about 30 out. So good start there from the Crows in the second quarter.
So if at first you fail, just try again. 4 times lucky for Erin Phillips, and 1 or 2 goal kickers now for the Crows. The other was Kelly Gibson.
Yeah, she's on fire at the moment. 1 goal 3 early in the second quarter, and just coming off for a rest at the moment, and should be stoked with the amount of ball she's getting, having a big impact on this game.
Metcalf straight down to Marinoff, slips through her fingers. Bars in there. And Ross. Faruja. Quick hands here by the Giants. Pouring on the pressure, the Crows. And the umpire's picked out a free kick. It'll be coming back to the Giants.
Ball coming back to Barr, I think it is.
Yep, Nicola Barr, a #1 draft pick in the draft last year. Sydney Uni player. She just chips it to Faruja, the captain. Wedges it over the top on miscommunication there and allows the Crows through Hatchard to come in to Marinoff on the left. The kick smothered. Anderson involved. Fires it out wide to Van Hagen.
Oh, good effort. Running back with the flight of the ball there. You never know what's coming when you're doing that, but she got a free kick for a push after
the kick. So a bit of confusion. Stop-start in the last few moments. Metcalf in the ruck for the Crows. Her nickname is the Beast because of the height and all the tats, I think, Roo. I guess we can assume.
I'm not sure if she's happy with that nickname or not. Generally, if you're not, it even sticks harder.
Yeah. So it was Perkins that fires out the handball to Randall, to Anderson, kicks it back. This time a free to Perkins.
Another free down the field. Bit of undisciplined footy by the Giants.
Long way from home for Sarah Perkins. Gibson couldn't quite mark it, then goes the toe poke, ducked her head, dispossessed. Guest goes in hard, puts her body on the line. Fierce stuff, Thorns in there. So too Holick. Comes out the handball to Allen, kicks around, blindly blazes away. And, unable to take the mark there for the Giants is Williams, and it rolls over the boundary line. Let's get down to Nerily, who's on the bench.
I've got Maddie Collier with me. Maddie, it's tough out there.
Yeah, it's been pretty tough. Adelaide really sticking well to their structures, but we had a good chat at quarter time, and we know what we need to do now. We just need to get back on that defensive transition, and that should get us on top.
You pleased with the efforts?
Yeah, the girls are having a really good crack. Doing a lot of pressure acts, which we know will get the Adelaide on the back foot. So, yeah, pretty happy with the girls' effort at the moment.
And how about the atmosphere? Thousands have rocked up to see you girls play.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I didn't expect this kind of crowd, and it's good to see some Giants fans in there as well.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
We've been talking about Marinoff, how good she is in tight. She's dominating possession. She's dominating contested balls. She's had 10 disposals, 7 contested, and 4 ground balls, and she's lining up for another goal. 2 tackles as well. She's best on at the moment for 9.
So Ebony Marinoff to top off what's been a terrific opening half. Just pushes it across the face.
I've seen the Giants have been really physical here. They just want to make sure they're not overstepping the mark and giving away some free kicks. But I think Coach Tim Schmidt will be very happy with the Giants' physicality so far.
Alex Williams to bring it back into play for the Giants. Ruja slides in and marks. Picked off by Marinoff. She is in everything. Fighting and scrapping and wrestling at ground level to be held in. And the umpire will throw it up.
Always a bit of an issue, kicking short in wet conditions. Just have to make sure you hit the targets, take them on the chest.
So this is McKinnon in the ruck, flicks it down. Again, the Giants players under pressure. And it rolls over the boundary line. See, De Pellegrini hasn't seen too much of the footy for the Giants. Pick her, she's got the purple hair out there, one of the veteran defenders.
Yet to get the ball in her hands. No disposals for Pellegrini.
Stripped of the ball was Faruja. Crows are surging. Phillips in the back, so she'll get a free kick. 1 goal, 3 so far, and we haven't yet hit half-time for the Adelaide co-captain.
Third free as well, inside 50.
They're providing plenty of excitement, Gibson and Phillips up forward. They're very high in pressure racks. They're pretty sharp around the goal, so I think they might be a bit of a dynamic duo going forward.
She just knows how to move as well. For someone who hasn't played football in 8 years, superstar basketballer, 10 seasons in the WNBA. Gives it plenty of air this time, and has it got the carry? No, it was touched on the line.
They're all debuting today, the girls. When anyone ever debuts, they're going to be nervous, so you can imagine how much better they're going to get as the season goes on.
She just looks like the type of player that has the ability to tear a game apart. Erin Phillips, is that a fair call?
She used to tear them apart when she was younger. She was better than the boys.
Gave it up when she was 13. Took up basketball because she couldn't play. And Van Hagen picks this off. So Denny Van Hagen, a nurse, playing for Morfettville Park in Adelaide. Chance to get her name on the score sheet.
Very lively. She's had the 6 disposals.
On the approach from directly in front. It was an awkward looking kicking style, but it doesn't matter. It splits the middle. And the Crows have got their third on the board.
I think she's come down from half back there, so you showed the Crows defenders are really getting up the ground. They're really locking the ball into the forward half. So
Adelaide's forward line a lot more efficient at the moment. They've had 10 inside 50s for 3 goals, 6. GWS 9 inside 50s for just the 2 points.
And Denny Van Hagen, the latest goal kicker. Nerily Meadows on the boundary.
Rory, you talk about Erin Phillips being better than the boys. Well, I can tell you that Denny Van Hagen captained her boys' primary school team before she was forced to switch to soccer. Like so many of these girls were, they had to give up Aussie rules. And away from footy, she's a full-time nurse.
Great stories littered throughout this AFL women's competition.
She'll not be required the way they're cracking in a bit too. There's going to be some bruises and some cuts, I think.
Some sore bodies tomorrow. They'll be feeling every muscle when they wake up. Stanton can't clear it. Neither can Cody Briggs. Comes out the back of the pack, squeezes the kick. There is Bevan. Pollock overruns it. Anderson. Again, another free kick. It'll go the way of the Crows, and this is Hollick. Monique Hollick.
Just forgot which way she was going there.
She did for a moment. Well, played her first ever game of footy, where you could probably forgive her, was 12 months ago. She's the daughter of Greg Hollick, who wore number 18 in 30-odd VFL matches for Richmond, so she's only been playing for a year.
She might be smarter than the average footballer too, by all reports. Source, I think.
Might be hard at times, Root.
Satellite engineer, if you don't mind.
Yeah, satellite engineer.
Yeah. The year 12 mark was 99.65. Phillips, fake one way. Pumps it long. Perkins, well played by Tompkins, backing back in front. Down to her own advantage. She needs some help. Stealing it, picking her pocket almost as Perkins. Back to Phillips. And the kick lets her down. And Bibby from basketballer to basketballer there. She says, let's hold it up and try and slow things down a bit. Metcalf launching herself from the side. Holmes putting her body on the line. Phillips goes again. Dalpos. And eventually the boundary line.
Contested possession is just getting away from the Giants a bit here. The Crows are leading by 16, which shows they're in first at the ball, and I guess the score is reflecting that.
Yeah, it's been a tough initiation to this competition for the Giants. They're missing their 2 marquee players.
You take the 2 best players out of any side and you're going to struggle, especially when you've only got 16 on the ground.
Well done by Collier. Up to the wing, and a good strong contest right in front of the Giants interchange gates. McWilliams fighting hard. One of their forwards from the St Kilda Sharks. So just a couple of minutes to go before half-time. There'll be some tired bodies out there at the moment. Adelaide really looking to take this match by the scruff of its neck. Bevan loses the footy. Briggs.
Oh, good effort.
Yeah.
Tackle. Gets rid of it. Giants still fighting hard. It's not clean at the moment. It's a real scrap. Phillips fires it backwards to Bevan. Kicks into space. Who will it sit for? Holmes. Can't quite control it. Great stuff there by Foley, just thumping it to half forward. It's a real scrimmage. And then Gibson goes the fend off. Almost got springs in her palm then. McKinnon.
Great effort by McKinnon, the ruckman.
Might come back to McKinnon here. She goes again. Randall trying to make some sense of this.
Good smother.
Great smother. So absorbing the pressure here, both teams. Eventually comes back the way of Van Hagen. And it'll land just in. But it's Collier at the drop who takes the mark.
It's gone up a level here in the last few minutes. The pressure's definitely lifted by both sides.
Well, they've got a minute to see if they can get their first goal on the board before half-time. It would give them a real spring in their step.
Can they go coast to coast?
Tompkins gets around one. Fires it out wide. She's got Saundry. So a good one-on-one. It's Saundry and Stevie Lee Thompson. Stevie Lee wins on this occasion. Cox is in there. Comes back to Saundry. Just hacks it to the middle of the ground. They need something to fire them, something special. McWilliams trying to do that.
Oh, look at the chance, Kelly.
And a great kick inside 50, taking the mark is Amy Schmidt.
Called time off.
The Crows have worked back here to clog up the space, so she's going to be forced to have a shot. So,
well, they have kicked from close to 50 before, so hopefully in range.
So Amy Schmidt, the 23-year-old from Western Australia, has she got 50 in her legs? She's got about 48. And it's half-time here at Thebarton Oval. The season opener between the Giants and the Crows. The Crows leading 3-6-24 to the Giants, 2 behinds.
really positive signs from both teams there. The Giants' tackling's been very good, but the Crows have probably just beaten them around the contest, which has enabled them to put scoreboard pressure on them.
Yeah, dominating the game at the moment. The Crows, certainly in the first half anyway. We'll wait and see what happens in the second half.
So some of the leading possession getters out there. Marinoff with 12, Phillips has 9, and she's kicked 1 goal, 3. Barr with 8, and Tompkins 7 for the Giants. Let's get down to Nerily Meadows.
Well, Erin, you couldn't have asked for a much better start than that.
Yeah, look, a fantastic first effort. Got the nerves out of the way, so we're starting to play really relaxed footy, which is great footy.
What did it feel like to kick a goal in the first ever AFLW match that you played?
Yeah, I thought it was about time. I think I've kicked like 4 behinds before that, so yeah, fantastic. Look, you know, it's amazing to be out here. We've got such great support. You know, it's a packed house and we love playing in front of it.
Good luck in the second half.
Yes, thank you very much.
And after the break, we'll be joined by Erin Phillips' dad, the legendary Hall of Famer here in Adelaide, Greg Phillips.